Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to another session of this course on Islamic inheritance law, in which we shall be looking at the inheritance share of the surviving husband when a woman passes away. Let's start off with text from the Sirajiyah. وَأَمَّا لِلزَّوْجِ فَحَالَتَانِ النِّصْفُ عند عدم الولد وولد الابن وإن سفل والربع مع الولد أو ولد الابن وإن سفل. The husband is a Quranic heir whose share entitlement is mentioned in the Quran in Ayah 12 of Surah Nisa. The Quran says, "And for you there is one half of what your wives leave behind if they have no walad, but if they leave a walad, then for you there is 1/4 of what they leave behind." As we have mentioned in an earlier session, the word walad in this context means a child or an agnatic grandchild, however low, so ever as shown in the family tree diagram. Agnatic grandchild refers to a son or daughter through a son, that is, through a male line of descent. There are two possible scenarios for the inheritance share of the husband. 1. The husband inherits a share of 1/2 in the absence of a child or agnatic grandchild, however low. Or 2. The husband inherits a share of 1/4 in the presence of a child or agnatic grandchild, however low. Let us see how this works in practice with some examples. In the first example, we have the husband and father as the only heirs. The husband inherits a Quranic share of 1/2 in the absence of a child or agnatic grandchild. The father inherits the residue of 1/2 as the only residuary heir. In the second example, the heirs are the husband, maternal grandmother, and 4 uterine siblings. The husband inherits his Quranic share of 1/2. The maternal grandmother inherits her Quranic share of 1/6, and the 4 uterine sisters together inherit their Quranic share of 1/3. In these examples, the husband inherits in the presence of a child or agnatic grandchild. In the first example, the husband inherits with a son. The husband inherits his Quranic share of 1/4 in the presence of a son, while the son inherits the residue share of 3/4 as the only residuary heir. If the son is replaced by an agnatic grandson, as in the second example, the husband again inherits his Quranic share of 1/4 in the presence of an agnatic grandson. The grandson, as the residuary heir, inherits the remaining 3/4 of the inheritance. In the third example, the heirs are the husband, a daughter, and full brother. The husband inherits his Quranic share of 1/4 in the presence of a daughter. The daughter will inherit her Quranic share of 1/2, and the residue will be inherited by the full brother as a residuary, in this case, 1/4 share. In the fourth example, the daughter is replaced by a granddaughter through a son. The husband again inherits his Quranic share of 1/4 in the presence of an agnatic granddaughter. The granddaughter will inherit her Quranic share of 1/2, and the residue of 1/4 will be inherited by the full brother as a residuary. This brings us to the end of this session. Inshallah, see you in the next one.